All right, I think we're live. Good morning. My name is Peter Brusso for 101 Small Business Mastermind.com. And we have with us today Dick. Say good morning, Dick.
Good morning. Good morning, Dick.
And Frank. Say good
Good
morning.
morning, Dick.
And Phil
Hey, good morning.
with his sporting his new headset. We might talk about that, Phil. Okay, so today I'm going to jump right into this. We got quite the show today. I want to talk about email marketing. We had attended a seminar about email marketing, and which we'll talk about downstream here. But everybody in small business and stuff would like to get in and use email marketing, but they do it all wrong. First off, you can't go scrape emails. You have to have an opt-in capability. And opt-in means that you need to be connected with a service like Aweber or Constant Contact, that once people opt in, they say, yeah, I want to receive your newsletter, I want to be on your list. Aweber, for example, will then send that person, are you sure you want to be on this list? And if so, then click this button to opt into the list, and they opt in. Now, people that opt in want you to sell them, and it's really the only way to do email marketing these days to build your list is with an opt-in capability or service. With the advent of all of the phishing scams and you get the Nigerian letters, you get all that stuff up and going, you know, having just emails now or try to email market is really kind of old hat and not looked at as very positive. I do have a site I want to show you, and this is sharing. I'm sharing my screen, hopefully, with you. And this is I'll get over to it. This is an article that came out from CMS Wire. What works, what doesn't work in email marketing. They're pushing infographics, which I'm a big believer in infographics. All right, who's making all the noise now? Would that be you, Phil? So in reading this type of article, and I'll have this listed up on the website, the first comment, which was 5 hours ago, was this: is they're talking about are they talking about content marketing? He said 90% of the email marketing is useless and is now turned out by viewers as useless. It's all about a specific time item and service they already have in their personal brand. Da 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 da. Top that off with unwanted pseudo marketing emails that are phishing scams or worse, and consumers are really leery of any email that is not from a person that they know. And again, that shows just the absolute requirement for an opt-in list. You just don't get a bunch of names and start hammering on them, because that's just really not the right answer at all. And so let me stop sharing now, if I can. And there we go. And so one of the big things about that is you need to do opt-in lists. You need to work with a company like Aweber. Other people also say that email marketing is a social media, and it's not. A social media is a conversation. Email marketing is you're sending an email to some person and they send something back to you. That person that you sent the email to isn't going to talk to another one of your email clients to another one of your email clients. It doesn't happen. That would be a social media. So anybody tries to tell you that, in fact, it's a social media, I don't think they know what they're talking about. Rather, so let's swing around to something completely new, or not completely new, but we have not talked about it, which is called content marketing. Now, content marketing, there's all these places for e-zines. Electronic magazines is where e-zine came around. Hub Pages being one of the largest ones. So you can actually get on, find the top rated 10 of these or 6 of these, whatever the number you want to do, and you write an article once a month for these e-zines. And an article is an informational piece, but also covers about what you're trying to sell possibly, or what you try to recommend, or even a product review. And you can get links back to your website, and these get pushed out there, and Google looks at these things. So content marketing does a number of things. Besides possibly driving traffic to you. It does equate you to be an expert in your field for whatever you're doing and writing about. And then they also get you backlinks that are high PR, page ranked links back to your site, which also helps you in Google searches for those particular keywords that you've identified. So content marketing is a really cool way to really get some good backlinks, but also get out amongst different readers and really get out there and become viral a bit. So I'll have more about content marketing and particular sites to look for. But again, in content marketing, it's a content article that you research and write. And then you can have a link or two in the body of the text typically. They have some rules, lots of rules. But you can have at least one link in the author section back to your site. And that way it can really help you. And that's what I got. Any questions on that, guys?
Yeah, I have some comments on that.
Sure, sure.
The first is on the email marketing, I guess a fractured business tale.
Yes.
A gentleman who used to be part of our group, okay,
Yep.
our Tuesday morning networking group, and has left. I'd rather keep him anonymous because I don't want to give him any more publicity. He came up one time and says, "Hey, I'm going to all these networking meetings." I said, "Oh, great, we're trying to help each other out." And he says, "Here's what I'm doing. I'm going to the leader of the networking group, and I say, hey, give me a copy of everybody's business card. I will scan them and send them to everybody so we can find out who was at the meeting." And I said, okay. I said, and you know how I feel about business cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did. Then he stepped over the line. He was capturing those emails, putting it into his contact database, not contact,
Right.
but contact database, and adding them to his email distribution list and blasting them with emails.
Yep.
And it turned me, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one, off. There was no opt-in. It was, hey, you attended a networking meeting that I attended. You gave somebody your business card. I send it to everybody, and I have the right now to send you stuff. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Agreed.
And we all know who I'm talking about.
Yes, basketballs.
Basketballs. Okay.
Made by?
Oh, jeez. All right, Tom Hanks.
Yes.
I forget the name of the movie. Stranded or something. What was it called?
Stranded, right, where he named his ball. It was balls.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Anyway.
The other comment I have is on your content marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to I called them e-zines. I guess they're called e-zines or e-zines.
Yeah, easy.
The latest thing that I'm kind of addicted to. I have this app on my iPad called Flipboard,
Mm-hmm.
and what these guys have doing is going from e-zines to magazines.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is they curate articles that they select without really any comments on their part. And I select who I want to follow, who I don't want to follow, add, delete, and so forth. And it's a lot easier to read than just a email e-zine. It's now a flipboard with all the graphics, and I can flip pages back and forth. So
yeah, it's here's matter of fact mine. I just launched the application.
Flipboard. There it is. Yeah.
Flipboard. And see if I can get it in there. But yeah, and you just flip it. You just flip it, and it comes up with the different articles, and you can click on it, and they're great.
Yeah, well, I have mine separated by the topics I want to cover, and I just added Twitter and Facebook, my Twitter account and Facebook account to Flipboard, and now I read my tweets and my Facebook pages on my.
And here's an apropos version, Measuring the brain's region could predict depression and anxiety years before it hits.
I am so glad I'm not going to read that article.
Well, I think it's like divorce, women. you can predict that one, So anyway, but Flipboard's great.
But where this is going and where marketing is going, it is now personalized. Mm-hmm. I decide what I get. I decide what I want to read. I decide that I no longer want to read articles from this particular person. Bingo, they're out of here.
Mm-hmm.
It's all content that is relevant to me at the time that I decide to do it, and I can change my mind any time I want and add and delete. It's becoming, again, there was that scene in The Godfather, Godfather 1, where Ava Goda says, tell Michael it was just business, it's not personal.
Mm-hmm.
That is no longer true. It is now personal. Business is now personal. This thing that we have in our coat pocket or my pants pocket has made everything personal. I decide what I want. So that was my comments.
Okay, great. Hey, by the way, we're sponsored by Charlie Maroney's Italian Bar and Grill in Indio, California, where, in fact, Dick and I were just at a DAV meeting the other night, and a lot of the businesses in Coachella Valley on Memorial Day or Veterans Day, they'll give us either a discount or a free meal or something like that, but Charlie Maroney's gives you a veterans discount 365 days a year. So there you go. All right. So how about a twin, Dick? Or how about a twin there, Frank?
Well, I get so wrapped up in my content that I've got to get my little sound effect here.
Yeah, I do. I hear ticker tapes.
But you will shortly. You will shortly, and we'll get it. Come on, baby. Don't fail me now. It is now loading. There it is. There it is. There it is. All right. This week's twin. This week in the news. Small business lessons from things that are happening around us. This week's twin's headline is, "Hey, Angela Arendts. Thank you for the small business lessons." Who in the heck is Angela Arendts? I'm glad you asked. Angela is now 54 years old. Normally I've been talking about younger people. Angela is now 54. By the way, for three of us on this podcast, 54 is very young. Angela was born in Indiana, and she received her merchandising and marketing degree from Ball State University. She was interested in retail. She moved to New York City right after college to pursue a career in retail, and she worked at companies like Warnaco, the bra company, Donna Karan, Henry Bendel, and Liz Claiborne. And at Liz Claiborne, she was named Executive VP, responsible for products, services, and development for both the women's and the men's line. And in 2006, Angela, I guess she would have been 45, 46 years old. Angela was hired as the CEO of London-based Burberry. And the British press went nuts. She was mocked. For who the heck is Angela Arendts? She's from a small town in Indiana. She went to a Midwestern school like Ball State, duh. I mean, maybe they play basketball. I don't think they play football. Why would Burberry make such a dumb move? Well, Angela had two things going for her, which is why Burberry hired her. She was mentored by one of the leaders in retail, a guy named Paul Sharon from Donna Karan. Plus, Angela had 25 years of successful retail experience. Well, with that, Angela turned Burberry from an aging British icon into a global, successful luxury brand. Angela was so successful at Burberry that she was one among the highest paid executives in all of the United Kingdom, making $37 million a year. Now, listen to the foresight that some person had. The gentleman's name is Tim Cook, who was the CEO of Apple. He had, I don't know why, but he had been following Angela's career, and he said, "I want Angela Arendts to work at Apple." Well, wait a minute, Tim. Are we talking about the same Angela from Indiana who went to Ball State and only had retail experience? Apple is the most successful high-tech, well, actually any company, but high-tech company in the world. He said, "How am I going to get her?" And after much intensive recruiting, on May of last year, so we're talking maybe 9 months ago, 8 months ago, 9 months ago. Angela joined Apple. Officially, her title was the head of retail. But in fact, Tim had more in plan for her. She was tasked with 3 major projects. The obvious one was revamp the Apple Store shopping experience. The Apple Store is already the iconic Apple Store. The Apple Store makes more sales per square foot of retail space than any store in retail store in history. But he also gave it 2 other projects. Number 1 was grow the Apple Pay mobile payment system, which we all know is taking off. And he said, I want you to grow Apple's market share in China. So how did Angela do? Well, last week, Apple reported their first quarter results. And to quote a now bankrupt video store, it was blockbuster results. Apple reported a net profit, not sales, net profit of $18 billion. That's billion with a B. The biggest quarterly profit ever made by a public company. In that quarter, Apple sold 74.5 million iPhones, well above analyst estimates. Apple was selling 34,000 phones an hour, every hour, 24 hours a day for that quarter. Okay? And a good portion of those retail results were attributed to Angela Ahrendts. Sales in China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan, which Angela was responsible for, were up 70%. In China alone, Apple has grown from being the 6th most popular smartphone in 2013 to now being the number 1 smartphone, beating out low-cost competitors like Xiaomi and Huawei, even though the iPhone costs twice as much. Not bad for a Midwestern girl with no high-tech experience. Oh, and by the way, what is Angela's compensation? Well, CEO Tim Cook, who hired her, now he has lots of stock options, but his pay is about $9 million per year. Let's all feel sorry for Tim Cook. Okay? Angela's compensation package in cash and stock this year is $73.4 million.
Oh my God!
I would say that Apple got a bargain. Apple got a bargain. Quite a story. I am impressed with Angela Ahrendts. Okay, so I picked out 2 small business lessons from Angela's performance. By the way, in less than a year at Google, with no high-tech experience at Google. I mean, at Apple. At Apple, right? Okay. First one is and I took 2 or 3 quotes from Angela. I combined them. So I paraphrase Angela Ahrendts' quotes. Listen to this. She says, this is quote Angela, great brands have to be great storytellers. At Apple, we were not looking to write another book. We were looking to write some exciting new chapters. Everybody is a storyteller. I don't think the world will ever want to stop hearing stories. My small business lesson, what is your company or product story? What exciting new chapters are you going to write? If you don't write it, your competitors or the people who don't like your product will. So that's small business lesson number 1.
Very cool.
By the way, I'm getting feedback from Phil. Phil, I can hear the feedback from your speakers, or from somebody's speakers, and you only want to be with yours. We all have headsets.
Oh, it might be mine.
Oh, okay, then, Phil, I apologize.
I don't think so, though. I mean, I had my speaker.
Okay,
is
small
it
business.
still there?
I'm here.
No, is the feedback still there?
No, it's gone. Okay. Small business lesson number 2. Angela captured the top seller status of smartphones in China, not by lowering her price to match the competition, but by increasing the quality into perceived value of the iPhone. There's a lesson right there. Small business lesson. If you do not have enough financial backing to become the low price leader in your field, aka Walmart, stop competing on price. Increase the value and quality of your product. Tell a stronger, more emotional story. You will raise your price, therefore raise your profit margin. Your customers will thank you, and so will your bank account. Don't charge less, offer more, and charge more for it. Your audience, if you're going after the market that you think you're going after, they will pay for value, perceived value and quality. And then I got a bonus lesson, and this comes back to Tim Cook. Tim Cook could have been like the British press saying, why the heck would he bring in a woman retailer? She's 54, for crying out loud. She's not one of these young hotshot kids from Silicon Valley. She knows bras and dresses and purses. What the hell does she know about high tech? You know what she knew? She knew business. You know what she knew? She knew the China market. You know what she knew? She knew branding. You know what she knew? How to tell a story. Tim broadened his horizons and brought in a superstar. She's happy. He's happy. The Apple shareholders are happy. And I'm glad I had a chance to tell her story. Thank you, Angela Arentz. And gentlemen, that is my twin for this week.
Any questions from anybody?
No, it's good.
Nope. Okay, Dick, you have some stuff on entrepreneurialism, right, or something?
Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit, and listening to Frank's twin today, I was thinking, we're as small business owners and entrepreneurs, you say to yourself, okay, how do I take the twin today and apply it to my world? And I think that the most confusing thing for a small business owner like myself and like all of us on the call is there's just so much swirling around your head today. You have to, how do you pick which topic is good, which motivator's right, which teacher's right, which mentor's right, and not not go after every shiny object as Peter often says. And to bring it down to myself, I went to a 1 hour seminar this week, and I walked in with an expectation of learning how to email market, because in my network marketing business, if I could figure out how to do that correctly, that would be a big plus to me. And when I left, I realized I just lost an hour of my life that I'll never get back, and I never learned anything. Other than the fact that, to really learn it, the guy's going to charge me $500 plus who knows how much more. And so it just gets me thinking is I must get 10 emails a day about webinars on I can double your business. I can get you on the first page of Google. I can do this. I can do anything in the world. And I say to myself, which ones do I look at? Which ones do I go to? Which ones do I listen to? And I spend half my day trying to figure out what I should do to go somewhere to learn. And I'm big into self-improvement and learning, and I try to spend an hour or two a day of improving my ability to run my business. So it just got me thinking. I think as business owners, I think you know what business you're in, and you know what you should, and you say I like myself, I'm a network marketer, and I need to contact as many people as I can to tell my story about my product, and I'm always looking to learn how to do that. And I would advise anyone, first analyze what your needs are, and before you waste an hour of your life like I did this week, try to do some research on the people that are giving it, and that can be hard, and it can be difficult. But I think it's important that you just don't blindly go to every email you get that says I can double your business. Don't walk in blindly. Determine what you need. Maybe try to find out what these guys' track records are. See if anybody's ever gone to one of their seminars or meetings. And just spend the time, do a little due diligence. That at least when you walk in the door, you're going to get something out of it. This week it didn't cost me anything other than that hour of my life. Now these same people are putting on another one that's going to cost $40 or $50. If I had to go onto that one and learn just how bogus they are, I might have paid that $40, $50 to go learn how to market through Facebook. And Peter talked earlier about content marketing and email marketing and and all these other avenues you can take. I think the hardest thing that we have going for us as small business people or entrepreneurs is picking what avenue is the correct one. And I think it's important that you do some due diligence and talk to a lot of people, and just don't go by the I can double you, I get you on the first page of Google, which Peter will talk about it, I think, later, just how bogus that is. And I think my lesson I learned this week so far is, do some research and talk to some people, and just because it's put on by, say, a chamber or it's put on by a national organization that is supposed to help small businesses doesn't mean it's good. So I caution everyone, don't chase every shiny object of seminar and webinar and all. When you get right down to it, the basics are what count, and I would advise everybody to follow that rule and do a little research before you commit time and money for an education on how to be more successful. So that's it, Peter. I just want to pass along my feelings of my week and how I feel like I wasted an hour of my life.
Yeah, well, we've certainly probably wasted more than that just all talking about it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Phil, do you want to come on and talk about your glitter update? If you do.
Sure, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's been going really well. We've promoted it on Facebook aggressively, and have yet to see the awesomeness of this whole entire campaign. So if you do want to get on board and send someone some glitter that you don't like,
explain how it pops up or how it does its thing.
Well, we I'm not an origami specialist here, which is the art of what is it?
Origami.
Paper,
origami, right?
Origami, right? Yes. But there is a special way to fold this paper in which that person opens it. It just springs forward. And
I think next week we have to have you open one on yourself so we can honestly see it. You see?
No, absolutely not. Just because, you have to think of it. Glitter is the herpes of the craft world, and what you may find as a good cleanup, glitter really never honestly goes away. I'll be finding little pieces of that shit forever, for years to come, and that's the beauty about this. I mean, once you send someone a glitter bomb, you're actually giving them glitter herpes, because they're always going to find a piece of it, if not in a week, in a month, or a year from now. So it will be with them for a very long time.
I actually think we have friends of the show. We might actually have to get our heads together, Frank and Dick, and find addresses for people that we might want to sample this new product out with. That ball manufacturer being one of them.
Listen, it's the best $9.99 you've ever spent. I mean, and we do this anonymously. No one's going to find out unless you want your return address on there. But it's all up to you. I highly recommend you write a nice little note that we'll include in there, so they at least know why they got what they got. So
all I would have to say is opt-in lists.
Yep.
You said opt-in list. But now, as being friends of the of your new venture there, if our addresses show up, we guarantee you're not going to send it to us, right?
You have to give us your addresses for us to know that. So yeah.
I'll send it to you today.
We guarantee that it's going to make one hell of a mess. I mean, we put 2 tablespoons of glitter in this damn envelope, and it's just going to get everywhere.
But we can't send it to Africa, right? We can't send it
to Africa because they might think it's food and eat it.
Yeah, we can't send it to the government, right?
No, you can't send it to A-list celebrities because they might think it's a drug and snort it. So,
Your terms and conditions are absolutely phenomenally funny.
you got to read them. If you haven't, go to the site. At least you'll get a good
Good
laugh
laugh.
and share
I
it with
didn't
someone
see.
too.
I didn't see where the terms were on the site.
They're not on the site. You have to go to the actual. You click the Buy Now button,
All
and
right.
in fact, you go to the shopping cart, and then there's terms and conditions there with a link that you can click. In fact, you have to sign off on it before, our cart will allow you to go ahead and continue the purchase. So, this is a gag novelty site. It's to have some fun with people, and honestly, go ahead, have some fun with this. Send it to someone.
I think it could actually be therapeutic.
It really can. Send it to that shitty neighbor, or
No
that
more domestic violence. Just give her a glitter bomb.
Exactly. And hopefully this will save a lot of people from going to jail. Because and why resort to violence when you can just send them some glitter?
That's right.
I'm doing the world some good.
It's the most peaceful, passive way of getting out your anger and stuff,
Exactly.
without
And we
hurting
have
anyone.
a competitor, which is sendpeopleyouhatepoo.com, which will actually send people shit via mail. That, I think, is against the law, because
that's got to be against the law.
That's got to be against the law. I mean, unless you're hand delivering it. But again, this is a very, very passive way to really express how angry you are with someone, and that's going to resonate in the back of someone's mind. Well, what did I do to deserve this? Well, that's where your note comes in hand. Tell them why they're an asshole and why they got this note. And
I was thinking about trying to get a site together where I can send garlic.
Garlic, okay.
Yeah, keep the vampire away from you or something.
Okay.
Blood-sucking lawyers or whatever. But
Sure.
Anyway, and VisitTrack. Let's hear about VisitTrack for a second.
VisitTrack's another project we're working on. We're going to relaunch this hopefully next week, and we've completely restructured the pricing on this. Before, the pricing had limitations, depending on which account you wanted. If you wanted an account with 1 or 2 or 3 or 20 domains. Now we just decided, listen, let's make every one of our packages unlimited. So you'll be able to put an unlimited amount of domains into the VisitTrack system. Yeah. For those of you that don't know what VisitTrack is, it's software that enables you to actually see what your website visitors are doing while they're on your site. So typically this was only available to the Fortune 500 companies. And for good reason, because similar software costs tens of thousands of dollars per week to use, and they're gladly paying this because it helps them make more millions. Okay, so if you're an average internet marketing guy like myself, this technology wouldn't have been available to us just because it was out of our price range. Okay, mm-hmm. So now we've created this technology that's similar to those that the Fortune 500 companies are using, and we've made it available for a fraction of the cost that they're paying. So now you can get started with VisitTrack for just $97 a month if you want to do a monthly plan. And remember, you can put as many websites as you want into the system, which means you can track as many website URLs as you like. Or for those of you that want even a better deal, we have a quarterly plan available, which you'll be billed $197 every 3 months. Or for those of you that just hate monthly plans altogether, we're offering a lifetime access pass for one single payment of $997. Now, if $997, you're probably going, holy moly, that's a lot. Well, it's just one payment. You don't have to worry about it. You pay for it once and use it for forever. Right. And we realize that might be a steep buy-in right now, so we're trying to offset that large expense, and we have 2 packages for the lifetime license, which is basically a 2-pay for $597 a month. So pay twice, $597, and it's yours forever. Or if even that's too much, we offered a 6-pay option, which is $297 for 6 months. So that's it, guys. Hopefully, we made it a little bit more affordable here, giving you some options here. And once you're done paying off the lifetime access pass, it's yours to keep. No monthly payments thereafter, and you can put as many people into the system as you'd like. You can even charge your clients if you're a professional internet marketer and you do this professionally and you manage other people's websites professionally. Peter, you do that. You can put as many of your clients as you like in there and charge them a monthly fee. And honestly, the sky's the limit. I mean, once you get them involved, you start showing them what their users are doing. It just results in you creating more residual income for yourself because you can charge them for website changes, graphic design, copywriting, different videos, you name it. It opens doors for potential additional revenue for you as well. So keep it in mind. Go to visitrack.com, check it out next week, and which is going to be, let me give you a date here for those of you that watch this after the fact. Go on February 9th to VIZYTRAK.com, and you'll be able to see all the different new pricing that we have available. Take advantage of it, because I'm only going to put this up for probably the rest of February. Then I'm going to take it down, and all that we're going to be offering is the $97 a month plan.
Okay, good. I think what we ought to do too is have a one-on-one marketing podcast just between you and me, so I can get it up on that channel as well.
Sure.
Great tool. Great tool.
Yep.
All right. So, Dick, you want to kick off this next section, or Frank?
About what we did on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dick alluded to it. Dick, if you don't mind, I'll kick it off. I just jumped in here. Dick, myself, and Peter were invited by a local chamber to attend a free, and I go like this with the air quotes. By the way, I hate people who do air quotes. Free webinar, free seminar, 7:30 in the morning on a Tuesday, on a topic that I don't want to do, but I was curious to see how they were going. I was there to learn how they teach. I was not there to learn the product, because I don't particularly like email marketing, but I was there to learn how they were going to teach the subject. So I was there as a student of the teacher as opposed to a student of the topic. And they did a good job of marketing it, and they got me to go there at 7:30 in the morning, and maybe a 10-minute drive, so no big deal. And the instructor was entertaining. He was cordial. He was funny. He involved everybody in the little give and take, and he remembered people's names, and he was a darn good presenter. And he had some slides, and the slides were interesting. I'm a slides connoisseur, so I'm like an artist. I would have changed that color, I would have changed that word, that kind of thing. But that's what artists do. And then at the end of the meeting, I said, "What just happened? What just happened?" I says, "I was invited to somebody's house for a meal." That guy liked to use analogies. And I went to this person's house, let's say this person's name, whatever his name was. And what he did is he gave me one small appetizer, told me about the salad, the soup, and the entree and the dessert, and said, "No, by the way, if you want all that, it's going to cost you $400. And I felt like I had been roped in, taken in, bait and switch, if you will. And I left there with a bad taste in my mouth. I enjoyed the presenter. I did not enjoy, and it was his message or his method of trying to sell me something. Will I go again to another one that he gives? Maybe because I wanted to learn the cool things about his presentation styles, but I know I'm going to be snaked in and not to expect very much. So that was my feelings. And gentlemen, Peter and Dick, what were your feelings?
I'll jump in and do something I don't normally do, Frank, is disagree with you. I don't think he was a good presenter. I mean, I thought he was too slick, too canned. He had a script and he was going to stick to it, and he had style. I'll give you that. But as far as a presenter, I just think he was a used car salesman in my book. And I don't have a lot of high regard for you car salesmen. So I disagree with that. I think that, and I'm sure Peter will address this stuff, but I think what he did to us as far as getting our contacts was unethical, and it really annoyed me. So that makes him not a good presenter in my mind, because he annoyed me. And And beyond that, we already talked about the waste of time it was. So that I'll disagree. I'll agree with pretty much all you said, except I don't think he was a good presenter.
I'll jump in now too. And I'll talk the technical aspect. He was certainly entertaining. He was like Vince, or Billy Mays. He was just animated, scripted, moved the crowd, that kind of stuff, which is always fun to see. But you almost feel used, mauled, at the end of the whole thing. He made some things, some technically not correct statements. Email marketing is social media. It's not. That should be one first clue that maybe he's not as smart as he thinks he is. Also, at the very end, he talked about they can get you up on Google on the first page of Google. And the standard rule, anybody in the industry that makes that kind of statement, you should turn it around the other way, because they're just charlatans. Now, it is true, with some work and some effort, you can get on the first page of Google for a particular keyword, possibly, if you research the keyword well. But and they use some other charlatan approaches that he says, hey, if you just all pick up your phone right now and Google pawn shop, you're going to find out there's a pawn shop right over here, and we did that. Well, searches and local searches, they're going to look for a local result, will show up faster than anything and high on the list. And it was 2 blocks away, so what do you think? And it's tricks like that. Is it true? Well, it's true if you do a local search. I don't know whether they had anything to do with I think it was Rocky's pawn shop. And so, you make statements like that, and then scary. And finally, the one thing that really blew my mind was he was trying to tell people about lists and how you can automatically work lists. And he asked everybody to pull out their smartphone and type in a particular number, and type in a particular name, and go hit send. And what happened is that he automatically enrolled every one of us that did it into his text marketing program. But he didn't tell you how to stop it. And he says, smiled, I gotcha. Wow, that's terrible. And so you should not be utilizing these charlatan-like tools to get people into your sales funnel. And if you have to do that, then you don't have anything worth selling. You're just ripping people off. And Dick, how did you feel about getting put in his marketing program there? We're not hearing you, Dick. There you go.
Okay. I was angry, Peter. I felt as though what he should have done was say, listen, I'm going to do a demonstration and I'm going to show you how I do automation of telephone and telephone texting and all. After it's done, if you want to stay in, fine. If you don't, here's how you get out of it. He just said, and when he said, I've got you, I really almost wanted to get up and walk out of the room, because I felt that angry at this guy, because it just showed what kind of a person he is, and also I was very angry.
Which harkens back to your comment, about taking time to really, if you're going to attend a free seminar, realize most chances are you're going to be sold something at the end. Whereas, our approach to these kinds of things is we want to tell people how to take, to take an idea and take it away from what we're talking about and utilize it that day and start making money or improve your business. And everybody else is out there just trying to hook, rope you, and as Frank said, bait and switch you into their program. I guess their next program up is tonight. For another $50, you get to learn about something else that you don't know about, and you want to learn about. But there'll be another. Oh, here's the class, $400. Sign up tonight. The other thing that disturbed me was they covered all the exits. They had their staff covering the exits. You can't leave without interpreting them, being interrogated by them. It was a very uncomfortable setting, So you got to be very, very careful of what you're
I,
doing.
uh, I have a comment and I have a question for you, Peter.
Yes.
I went there because you and Dick knew about it and said, "Could you come along?" And I would have gone. But had you not, I may have gone, not because I knew the presenter, because I didn't. I met him for the first time Tuesday morning, but I knew who he was representing, which is this national organization, and it was being hosted by a local chamber, which I trusted. So I had the national organization saying, "Hey, he's representing this national organization, which I think is a good organization, or I thought it was a good organization." And it was being hosted by a local chamber, which friend of mine, well, you guys are involved, and other people, or other people are involved, who I like a lot. And I said, well, this is good stuff. It's being hosted by this great chamber.
National organization, yeah, and I can't
Right,
understand how.
right, and I said, wow, did they get roped in or did they rope me in? And I think it's a pride. I think they got roped in. The question I have for you, Peter, I know you spoke to the head of this organization. What were some of the comments he heard from his members, not from three old white guys like me, you and Dick?
Yeah, there were two complaints. I mean, if you water it down, there were four real people from the chamber in there.
4 or 5.
Four real, yeah. So half, 50% said that they felt they did not learn anything. They did not learn what they were supposed to learn, what they thought they were going to learn anyway, and to be marketed at a $400 level at the end of the class, they just didn't appreciate it. And yeah. So, but I was also told that they're doing this all throughout the Coachella Valley as well. So maybe they got 2 people in their sales funnel, and that's fine for them, But it's so predatory that.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I think about it, owning a small business or being just a sole proprietor of a business can be a very lonely experience, because you don't have someone to talk to, at all. And I think I spoke a week ago about mentors and how much Peter has helped me as my mentor to understand what this digital world is about. I'm 75 years old, and I spent and had a highly successful career in sales and marketing, but I never was involved in today's world after I retired. So if I hadn't have met Peter, I don't know where I would be as far as the digital world would go. And I think it would be important if you own a business. And I think the chambers are great tools to not just network and try and move your product and move your services, is to meet people. So advice I would give is to go to some of these chamber meetings and sit down and talk with people, and that's how I met Peter. And from there you can start forming educated opinions to make a decision. Should I go to this or not go to this? And I know we're making a big deal out of this, but in today's world that we're in, I think you have to have a great deal of skepticism, because most things you get are people trying to sell you something, take something from you, or waste your time. And I think my advice would be is that join your local business organizations and meet people that way, and from there you can figure out where you should go to learn more things and be better educated.
Well, Frank, you mentioned yesterday, why does anybody join a chamber?
Yeah. There again, and I've been members of chambers in Orange County, where I lived before I moved here, which is a coastal community here in California. Now we're in the desert. I joined chambers for 2 reasons. Number one was to network. I wanted to meet other small business owners, hopefully sell them some of my stuff, and I'm just being very open about that. Give referrals, get referrals. It was a business sales reason to join. But the other reason, and what I found out was a more important reason, was I was there to learn from other business owners. I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. I didn't want to make the same mistakes that other people made. And I wanted to share what I had learned. And so I put my trust in a chamber that they would give me an opportunity to meet other business owners, which they all do, but they would protect me from any kind of bait and switch thing. And I felt that did not happen Tuesday morning. So you're there to learn. And when you're a small business owner, our first goal is to learn as much as we can for free. Okay? Learn for free. I don't have a lot of extra money. I certainly don't have a lot of extra time. And when you use my time and you ask me to pay for something I thought I was going to get for free, you have ticked me off, or as we say in Boston, you have frosted my nuggets. And I think that turned me off. That turned me off. Chambers should be there to introduce small business owners to each other and to teach and to learn, not to get them to debate and switch. That's my feeling on it.
Well, if it's so, I'm working on, and this is something you're working on too, Frank. Eventually you're going to put together a info marketing course. So am I. And we have to give away one of our lessons for free.
I'll be right back, guys. Keep going.
And then we do that so we can give them a taste of what the core offer is going to be like, right?
Right.
So maybe they did that, but instead of creating an online course, they did it live. It sounds like the same principle that eventually we're going to put in place.
No, not really.
No?
Again, not well. But what he did is, again, and I hate to use this term because it's a movie that's coming out called 50 Shades of Grey. There were 50 Shades of Grey in this whole damn thing here. We were promised we were going to learn something that was called email marketing. We learned very little. We were teased about how much more we had to learn, and it just I just felt like I was being set up. What we're doing with our internet marketing is we're going to give value. We're going to teach a course online, or teach a subject online, or a subset of a subject. Maybe teach one or two different subjects. Hey, we've got a lot more to teach you if you would like to buy this stuff. But we're going to give them value for every online thing that they sign up for.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing they click on with us is not going to be a sales pitch. It's going to be a value pitch. We're going to give them value that they can leave the 8 to 10 minute video that we're going to be doing with instructions on how to do something immediately.
So I wasn't there. So any good value pitch should follow the 80-20 rule. 80% education, 20% sales. This sounds like the guy had it backwards, huh?
Well, let me just to answer your first question, Phil. It was in the presentation. Okay, that was presented as a learning hour, which it wasn't. It was an infomercial. And secondly, when you offer someone, you say, listen, you view this first marketing presentation to see if you think there's a value in purchasing more of our things. So you're not baiting and switching the guy. You say, listen, I'm gonna give you this one free. Right. And you make a decision whether you think you can learn more. Exactly. So that's the difference.
Like, let me demonstrate that I know my stuff, and you can benefit from this. And if you want to take the next step, you take the next step. Sign up now.
Exactly. And this was billed as a learning. You come and we're going to teach you how to do email marketing. And obviously you can't do that probably an hour, but his was from start to finish was an infomercial.
Well, what I think that this guy and again I wasn't there, but. Again, I always do my own selling based on the dating process, right? You can't go up to a woman you just meet at a bar. I mean, you can, but your success, you're not gonna get what you're looking for.
Careful there, Phil. Careful there, Phil.
So with sales, I think that maybe he should have offered his value education course, a chunk of it. Like, we're going to give you step 1. And, from the get-go, maybe, obviously honesty sells, in my opinion. Say, listen, I'm going to teach you 1 step out of 10, all right? And then, hey, if you're interested in the other 9 steps, this is how you can reach me, and leave it at that. And do what Frank says. Let them come to you.
Right. Well, that's the whole key. I mean, if he hadn't spent the hour at least telling me something I already knew, that there is a benefit to email advertising if done properly. If he said, listen, I can't in 1 hour show you everything you need to do to email market, but I'm going to spend the hour to show you the basics. And if you want to go forward with it, I offer
Yeah.
this service.
That would have humbled.
fine.
That would have made him look
At least
humble.
I would have learned something. I still don't know if I go to that $400 thing. Am I going to get more of the commercial? So he draws me in, so I got to sign him up as to help me with it and spend more money with him. Is this just as we talked about the other day, one more step in the sales funnel? I have no clue on that. I think if he said this hour, I'm going to give you the basics, is that you, if you want to, can start your email marketing campaign if you want to do it. Beyond that, there are other things you would need to do that I can help you with, and my phone number is blah, blah, blah. I would have appreciated that.
And in all honesty, I think it was mispitched to begin with. If he had been honest and said, maybe told a story about someone, like Frank suggests, then I think it would have been more compelling for, again, Frank, I think you have a wonderful opportunity selling this guy your services. I think that you should email him. No joke. I think you should. I think that you should tell him where he went wrong, and for $500 an hour, you tell him how he can get right.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think, Jim?
I have one rule of people I work with. I've got to they've got to be honest, they have integrity, and I want to work with them. And right now he fails in 2 out of 3. So.
But you never know. Maybe this was the way he was taught, and you just you need to reteach him.
They did exactly what they wanted to do. They had a script. They followed that script. This is how they make their money.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that they do video for companies. And did I tell you that they do videos? And during his presentation, he said, we do videos for companies. And, gee, did I fail to mention the fact that he does videos for companies? I mean, how many times you got to sell somebody on that? It's just a hard sell.
Yeah, it is. One of the things that I said the other day was they walked out of that meeting saying, hey, man, we did a great job. We're probably going to get some clients from it, okay? What Peter, Frank, and I are talking about doing is that people walk out of that meeting, they're going to say, geez, I learned something there today. I can start applying to my business immediately.
Exactly.
That's the whole difference of philosophies. I'm not saying they're bad people. That's their company and that's their sales pitch. Fine. I think they, misled people, but there's 2 different approaches.
I think the thing that bothered me was, one, it was put through the chamber that I belonged to, and I think the chamber got fooled about what they were. Number 2, it was from a national organization that let them into there, but the national organization didn't talk. They let these people who are currently in the business, and they were proud to still be active, as opposed to retired, the whole approach was wrong. And at the very end, I actually have a slide. I probably should not show it, but basically it was, here's what they can do. They can put you on the first page of a Google search and all this stuff for $3.99. And so you got to sign up right now, or else the offer's not valid anymore. So hard sell, I just didn't like that whole approach. I just thought that was totally wrong,
Well, you guys were misled to begin with, and that's what the caca taste in your mouth comes from. Had you been told, hey, you're going to spend, an hour of your time and waste the majority of it there, I'm sure you wouldn't have gone.
And the scary part is they knew all 3 of us. We sat down and, we recognize you guys from your podcasts, They had seen our podcast, so maybe they'll see this one and clean their act up or something. I don't know.
Well, I hope they will.
Maybe, who knows? So, Frank, you wouldn't take this guy on as a client to restructure and organize the sales process, huh?
No, he would have to meet some of my criteria.
He'd fail.
Well, again, you have to meet it, but I'm very forgiving, but he'd have to meet some of my criteria, and if he did, I would help him a lot. But
I would like to hope that they have good stuff. My doesn't pass my smell test when you can be on the first page of Google. Doesn't pass my smell test when you claim that email marketing is social media. Neither one of those are true. So I don't know. From my standpoint, technically, I felt that it was a very weak approach myself. But I'm a technocrat.
Now,
Yeah.
what do you think if I would have had if I go out to California, I'd love to meet with your chamber and do a presentation on how to set up sales funnels, show people
They'd
how to
love
do
that.
it, how to
No, they'd
utilize
love that.
Facebook, and then at the end offer a done with you service.
No,
Not a done for you, but done
no,
with you.
no. You let it go at that. And then basically, I think that at that point, if they want more, they know how to find you.
Right,
Um,
exactly. Right, micro
um,
steps, baby steps. I got you. I mean,
well,
again, like you got to take a woman on a couple dates before, whatever.
here
But
we go.
again,
You're killing me, Phil.
that works. I mean, it's just how it works, man. You cannot go and buy a woman a drink and say, all right, we're getting married. It doesn't work. It takes several steps,
Well,
right? You just can't walk up to the buffet bar and have yourself a Guatemalan taco. It doesn't work that way.
oh, Phil, let's back up on this one. This is well, I think there's a philosophy that what I think the three, both Dick and Frank, we believe in helping people first and giving them something that they can go use, and that does a couple of things. First off, people do business with people because you add value in their life. When you stop adding value, that's when they stop doing business with you. And so by adding value in their life and they're getting something they can use right away, you're gaining their trust. And at a certain point, they're just not capable of taking the next steps. And Frank, why don't you talk about that? 90% of the people are
I missed both of those numbers. It's really 91. When we're dealing with small business owners, and so is the chamber, they're there to learn. 90 out of every 100, and I'll use numbers because I simple numbers. 91 people are there to learn how to do it themselves. They don't have the money. They don't have whatever it is, or they have the money, but they want to prove they can do it themselves. And we will deliver them value and knowledge that they can go and do it themselves. 6 of those 100 will say, you know what, I tried, it's a little more difficult, I've got other things I want to work on. Frank, Peter, Dick, or Phil, how about if I bring you in and do it with me? I'll pay you a certain fee. I contact you. You don't push that. I mean, I say, Phil, would you come out and help me? I'll pay you whatever the dollars we agree on, so that at the end it'll get done and I'll be able to do it myself later. And then 3 of those 100s can say, I've got a growing business, I've got a business, I've got to get off the ground, I've got a lot of things. Tell you what, I know it's important. How about if I pay you, you do it for me? I pay you a little bit more dollars. You do it all, deliver me a completed product, and we go from there. But you start by satisfying the 91 out of 100. This guy did none of that. He gave you an appetizer when he promised you a dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And we left hungry. We left hungry and fooled and bad. And that was a bad customer experience. We delivered the meal, and if they want help, they know how to contact us. We build our credibility. We help small business owners. We build our reputation. We build all sorts of great things by giving value and let people buy. Don't sell them. I want to be pursued. I don't want to be the pursuer. I am the prize.
Oh no, Frank, you're wrong. I'm the prize. I'm the prize. You told me that in your program. I'm the prize.
I did say
there can only be one prize. I'm the prize.
You got it. Okay, I'm the consolation prize.
All right. I think we probably beat this to.
Yeah, we have.
But in a summary, though, for our viewers, so I mean, I think joining the chamber is a phenomenally good thing to go do. They have mixers. You can get a chance to mix with people. You build relationships. You get to talk with them. You get to know their businesses. You go have coffee with them, and you start to build your network that way. And some of those people will help you. Many of them, they won't give a darn. But some you can certainly find mentors, and I mean, yeah, you could probably learn to do your own laser eye surgery, but would you? You know, there's just sometimes you go to a professional for that. You know, other times you can cut your own hair and whatever you want to do. But so I think joining the chamber, the learning part is important, and I think the networking and gaining relationships is vitally important for any business. And our chamber is led by a wonderful guy, phenomenal guy, and it's a great chamber. And so I'm proud to be there. So, all right, let's bring it to a close. Any last words there, Dick? Say good night.
No, I belong to a different chamber, and I have the same feelings. It's great leadership, and it has helped me immensely in my business and learning from people that I talk to. I became an ambassador, so I'm really involved in the chamber, and it's helped a lot. I would advise any business person to join their local chamber.
Frank, any last comments?
Yeah. Good night, Dick.
Good night, Dick.
Hey, guys.
Phil, any last comments there, Phil?
No, negative.
Nope.
Great time today. Take care, guys.
Okay. All right, hang on. We're going to go stop this.